Oh, I believe you.
Yeah, you gotta go get the
Listen
old
to
ones that are
statistics.
depressed.
Y'all don't get mad at me. That's the statistics, and go look on my thing. The Nigerian man's telling us he's turning on them. He told Dr. Phil, and he's put a damn thing out how they all get a handbook at a certain age, and they're go read it. Don't believe me, because I wouldn't have known nothing about it if he hadn't said it. He's a Nigerian guy and tells the story of how to romance scam a woman or how to scam just for money not to get here. There's some that just scam you for.
I'd be very curious to know when she discovered this book. I'm not saying this book doesn't exist, because it probably does. But I want to know when she discovered it. But to be honest with you, even bringing up that there's this alleged book about Nigerian men doing X, Y, Z, really and truly, why does that even matter now? What's happened has happened, do you know what I mean? But at the end of the day, Angela's only bringing it up because she wants to use it as an excuse to say that, hey, there is a book out there that is designed to manipulate us women to get Nigerians into the United States. And she only wants to use his narrative, so therefore she can continue the narrative of proving that Michael scammed her, rather than going for the narrative where she can take accountability about the fact that she decided to stay with him for 7 odd years. And also on top of that, she also had opportunity to even leave this man. In this current season, she was even told that, hey, you can choose to not marry him and not go through with it. No, you can choose to not go through with the visa, and then if you don't, then obviously the door will never be open again. But she still chose to open that door regardless. There's a lot of accountability that she's not doing, and that's why she wants to use every single thing that throws Nigerian people or Nigerian men under the bus. Like, really and truly, what a freaking clown. But hey, this is what happens when you're dealing with a freaking demon. But let's continue.
Money, and there's some that romance scam you to get here and leave.
Cinnamon, you're asking how often she visits Canada? She loves Canada.
Oh God, she's there at least 5 to 10 times a year.
Did you
she and Canada loves her. Maybe not you, but there are Canadas that just treat her like royalty, which is very nice to see.
How do I feel about Kobe? Didn't you hear Kobe? Would you see this Sunday? Then you're going to see how I feel about him. Because he wants y'all to see that, but because I'm calling him out too. He's so fake. His wife. Then the next 3 days, their community makes so good. Emily, I'm a fan. I'm a fan, Emily. Baby, he said you're a fan. He's a fan of yours, baby. Listen, when fake people, I never talk about the cast members, but this is a different level. And when you come for me as a cast member, because we don't do that shit, because we're a TLC family, you cross the line.
First and foremost, I didn't realize that you was a part of any TLC family. It seems to me as if you've always been a lone wolf. The only person that's probably been on your side is probably Big Ed, because Big Ed needs you to be in the show, so therefore he's not the only person that is the most hated villain of all time, if you dig what I'm saying. I mean, there is another one, but I'm not even going to mention his name, because when you mention his name, he starts to go on social media and starts saying, hey, why is everybody talking about me for? But yeah. Nonetheless, the point being, and let me slow myself down because I spoke very, very fast there. I'm very interested to see what she has to say regarding Kobe. Very, very interesting to see, because you see, I reckon whatever she says to him is probably due to the fact that he's also a black man from Africa. I wouldn't be surprised if she started to claim that he was Nigerian too, even though he's from Cameroon. Now, to be honest with you, so far in part 1 and part 2, Kobe is the only one that's been trying to be consistent, to try and obviously be in the way of Angela and Michael, to try and at least be there for Michael. He's somebody that has definitely tried his best to try and say certain things when things have got heat, and to try and step in the way. But of course, each time it's happened, Angela's obviously always been there. So I wouldn't be surprised if Kobe got to a point where he was like, you know what, F this. I can't keep allowing to see my own African brother here, going through this hell. I need to step in and have a bit more of a backbone. The kind of backbone that he probably needs for his own wife, but hey, that's another conversation. But I wouldn't be surprised if Angela Dean then decided to go completely crazy on him, because we know that Angela does not want Michael to have anybody liking him, and definitely does not want anyone to be defending Michael in any kind of way. Unless you're the actual security for TLC, that ain't happening, you know what I'm saying? So it'd be interesting to see obviously how she does treat him as well. So with that being said, I'm now actually looking forward to seeing what's going to happen in this week's episode of 90 Day Fiancé Part 3 of the Tell, so therefore I can rip it apart. But nonetheless though, let's continue. Who knows, I might even do a live stream. I might even do a watch little party. But let's continue.
You cross the line, and I'm not going to sit here like none of you little brand new wanting to be famous and be me, because you can scrutinize me, you can lie me, you won't ever take my crown. I earned that crown, and I don't give a shit if I ain't on a show again. You people can never touch my crown, because I'm always going to think I'm the shit. Right here in a house, in an apartment, in a broken down car, because that's who I am. I sure didn't make me 50 years before that, and that damn sure ain't gonna make me 58 later.
I'm sorry. Can we just do the maths on that? Can we not just? That didn't make sense to me, to be honest with you. The show didn't make me for 50 years, and it's definitely going to make me 58 years later. I mean, Andrew, you know you haven't been on the show for 58 years, right? I feel like she's kind of got confused of how long she's been in the show. Like, honestly, the girl's math is crazy. Unless she means that the show isn't going to make her anything until she's like 108, like, which doesn't make any sense. Yeah, anyway, sorry, but Angela is just doing the most as per usual. Literally, this is when you know somebody is just talking smack. Somebody is just literally mumbling for the sake of saying something. Somebody that's saying a whole lot of words, but really ain't saying nothing. And somebody that knows flat out that they're only speaking so they can lie and lie and lie so they can cover their tracks, and they just keep talking because that's what they do.
I'm real to myself. I'm not perfect. I make mistakes and I apologize for it. I ask God to forgive me. I have a conscience so bad.
Well, we're all human.
I mistreated.
Yeah.
Bitch, you can't find a conscience nowhere when I've been mistreated over and over and over and over and over. And I protect somebody or protect people and they just shit on me and I don't let. That's why y'all don't know now y'all are against me, because I protected them for 8 years.
Your goat's going to fall off the
No
damn
more
mountain.
protection. Huh?
Your goat's going to fall off the mountain.
Becky,
I mean, listen, to be honest with you, nobody cares that you're protecting for 8 years. Nobody cares. Really, nobody cares. But let's be real, you didn't protect him for 8 years. Or 7 years, to be fair. But we all know that you didn't. Oh, no, but then it probably is 8 years now because it was 7 years from the moment that the show was filmed. Fair enough, 8 years. But let's be real, though. You didn't protect him for 8 years. You know, you bullied this man for 8 years. Okay? You literally did anything that you could to try and control this man for 8 years. You made this man feel like as if he's your property and not as if he's your actual equal husband. Point blank, period. But I, like I always say, at the same time, though, he chose to put up with your BS for 8 years as well. You're both as bad as each other in terms of the fact that you both decided to stick in this relationship for longer than you needed to. But at the same time, Angela's definitely the far worse one because of the shit that she did. But then at the same time, that can be subjective. Some people do say, what is worse, the person that is doing the abuse or the person that's actually allowing themselves to be, or the person that's allowing themselves to receive for that long period of time, which can be very, very subjective because you see some people go through it because they have been mentally messed up. Like that person has mentally abused them to the point where that person feels as if they can't escape, which is completely different. But then there's people who, you know, that they've been very awake and very alert to the abuse for the whole time, but they've decided to stay regardless. Michael's the person that's been alert to it the whole time. And that is why when it comes to having that sympathy for him, yeah, it's a bit of a sticky one for me, you know what I'm saying? But nonetheless though, let's continue.
Auntie Becky wants to know why she can't move on.
Baby, I don't know. I don't know. I don't know.
Becky can't move on. I don't know. Oh, I believe you.
Of course you don't know. Of course you don't know. She knows why she can't move on. She needs to keep talking about him to stay relevant. That's why she can't move on. She's talking about him on purpose to be stuck in this loop for the sake of the fact that it keeps her relevant. End of conversation. You know what I mean? There's no way you can tell me that she doesn't know why she can't move on. That is absolutely utter BS. Utter BS. But I will say this though, once the show is over and her contract is completely done with, I will be interested to see what will then actually come out of Angela Dean's mouth. But I guess we won't know that until further notice. But nonetheless though, at the end of the day, when it comes to this traumatic relationship, and this is something that I'm going to say, what Michael doesn't recognize is that he allowed himself to stay in a relationship that was so ugly that he's been unable to actually ignore the trauma it would now put on himself. Because despite the fact that he may have been in the relationship for his own agenda, it doesn't change the fact that when trauma hits you. So moving forward, when it comes to him finding another woman, I won't be surprised if he's going to struggle to be around a woman that is going to be a strong woman. Because at the end of the day, he's been around a woman that's being an abusive woman. And sometimes a strong woman can easily be confused for an abusive woman. Do you see what I'm saying? And I say this because some of the traits can be very similar in terms of the fact that a strong woman does like to take charge here and there. She does like things to be done in a specific way here and there. She does like to have a certain level of control here and there. And an abusive woman obviously likes that stuff, or an abusive person likes that all the way through. Do you see what I'm saying? So if he comes across a very good woman, but it's also a strong woman, it might give him flashbacks of the fact that she may actually end up treating him the way Angela did. So this is the part that Michael really didn't think about, and this is the part that's probably going to hurt him in the future, because realistically, can I see Michael being with somebody can I see him being with a woman that is submissive? Listen, because he's a Nigerian man or an African man, to be for that matter, probably, yeah, but does he really have the alpha in him to be able to, be in a relationship with a woman that is submissive, is going to respect him? Very unlikely. I do feel like he's probably more prone to women that are strong women, because he definitely needs that for himself personally. You know what I mean? But at the same time, I don't know if he's going to ever be able to be with a woman that's strong moving forward because of what he's put himself through with Angela Dean. You see what I'm saying? Just something to think about there. You know what I mean? And that's why I said the comment before about, obviously, when it comes to sometimes the person that's allowing themselves to be abused, like who's conscious of it, they don't recognize what they're doing to themselves. Obviously, when it comes to Angela being the abusive person, well, for her, sadly, this will never change. Sadly, there is no trauma. Well, sadly, the trauma that she suffers isn't going to be as deep as the one that Michael suffers, in my opinion. I could easily be wrong, you know what I mean? And I do apologize if maybe I've worded things a bit wrong and it's maybe coming across as if like I'm being da-da-da-da, but I'm not. I know exactly what I'm trying to say. Hopefully you'll understand what I'm trying to say. Because in no shape or form am I trying to defend or trying to say that that Angela is, whatever, no. Or the abuser is whatever, no. Just giving a different slight of perspective. Like I said before, it's very different though if you're dealing with someone who's been mentally abused and actually has been stripped from their mental power of being able to leave and being able to see the light. That is completely different. Do you know what I mean? Okay, that is savage on a whole other level. This situation with Michael is not the same, because really and truly he has done things throughout their relationship, their abusive relationship, that somebody who's mentally messed up wouldn't do. For example, he has put himself in a position where he was texting another woman. Also put himself in a position where he allegedly got oral intimacy from another woman. Do you see what I'm saying? So this is definitely a man that's, been in control. Nonetheless, though, let me know your thoughts. Let me know your opinions. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and of course, peace.